Are we on? Yes, we are. Howdy. I'm going to make a long video. Hopefully the phenomenon will cooperate. Wow, look at that cloud. That's what clouds are supposed to look like. So I won't be talking a lot. I'm just going to let this run for a while and we'll see what happens. But 2 days ago, inexplicably, maybe there was a 9/11 type attack. All the airplane traffic that I bitch about stopped for like 18 hours. It was from about 5 in the afternoon until 7 in the morning the next day. It stopped. And I've been going nuts because every time the plane flies over, it seems as if there's some sort of invisible energy that focuses itself on this infection stuff here around my eye and my temples that came out of my ear after I put antifungal in my ear, and I don't want it going back in my ear. It hurts really, really bad, and it's been 2.5 months I've been battling it with like literally borax and baking soda, antifungal, myrrh, frankincense. Sometimes I use home heating fuel just because the fuel like neutralizes the whatever, so it stops burning and hurting actually. The problem is how ridiculous it seems that this is related to jets. First of all, even if I wasn't noticing anything except that there's a lot of jets that fly over this house. More jets fly over this house than go to the airport. They fly in circles for hours. There'll be a jet or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 at a time every 2 minutes for hours sometimes. And they'll take a break for an hour, half hour. Then the little planes will go over at that time. And then big jumbos will just come one every 3 minutes all day long. And then smaller jets that fly from the west to the east towards Hawkinson and Washougal while there's nothing and they're not going there for any purpose. Those will go and go and go and go for no particular reason, and I guess, well, you know, they need to fly at 1,000 feet, super close to the ground, right over the house. You can hear them in the distance right now. Anyway, back to the story. 2 days ago, the planes just stopped. And I've been battling this stuff here for quite a while. And the last week's been really bad because I'm tired of it. So I've been using the baking soda and taking baths and soaking it so that it will soak in. And I know that's killing the germs because I can feel it. I get this weird smell even that it's in my bloodstream, I think, of the virus or germs or whatever it is being killed. But it hurts bad. And I noticed here, once I got the bulk of the infection under control, because it was a lot worse, it toned down some and the pain wasn't quite as bad. And it became super, super obvious that it's the jets that fly over at like 1,500 feet, which is way too low. Plus there's no airport in Vancouver for them to land. They didn't take off or land here. And we're north of the airport 6 miles in a straight line probably, and not in line with it. And there's all kinds of sparsely habitated areas, just a few miles any direction to the side that these planes could be routed over at 1,000 feet. So as not to fly diagonally across Vancouver, going over every Vancouver neighborhood continuously for the time that they run. There's too many planes. It's bullshit. Even if there was no symptom to be seen, that is ridiculous. And people just, oh, I guess it's normal. If you can think of a plausible reason why 160 jumbo jets per day fly over your residential Vancouver neighborhood home, like this high, and they fly over here, and you go right over here, and right over there, They go over Dan's house. Or they come from the east and fly right over that trailer right there, and right over this shop, and in that way. Or they'll fly 3 at a time of these small planes with a red light on one wingtip and a blue-green light on the other wingtip. And they'll come from Portland. It's one after another, apparently doing nothing, right? At multiple elevations. Sometimes they're crisscross gridding their paths, but they're not spraying anything. Lost my train of thought. Oh, and those ones will spray occasionally. They spray at like 3,500 feet. And you watch them in the moonlight, leaving a liquid stream as they fly over. Which turns into a super low little chemtrail line in about 5 minutes. And is floating into my house in about 5 more minutes. Okay, back to the video. There's way too many planes. Even if there was nothing troubling to associate with them, utter fucking bullshit. I mean, you gotta be a fucking moron to think, oh, I guess it's just busy now. It's the 21st century. It's the 21st century, Fluffs. Everybody flies. See, we could take the car to Battleground and get there in 10 minutes, but let's take the plane. And hey, let's make 6 or 7 trips while we're at it, just to make sure we get our plane's worth. See? Capiche? Yeah. Alright, so, by virtue of the virus in my head, or by virtue of the fact that somehow it's connected with the Agenda 21 and our satanic USA, undeniably satanic assholes nation, these planes are causing my irritated areas, and these scabs are like, have a hard shell that's harder than normal scab tissue should be, and they're super sensitive, and sometimes you irritate one and you get weird pains in different places on your body, like on your skin surface, like it's tied directly into the nervous system or something. I don't know, maybe it's a type of a herpes virus that's fucking carries an extra 1-2 to it. It's been 3 months now. I've been antifungaling and it's as much as I can stand, as much as pain as I can take, and it's a lot, but it gets bad. 5 straight hours of just burning. Ugh. Okay, I got it under control. It seemed like I'm winning the battle. Things are getting better. The plane stopped flying for a day and a half, and in that day and a half, this was like almost healed up looking. The weird sensitive nature of it, the interconnectedness, the sensitive irritation in my skin, that went away in like 18 hours. I mean, no plane. So wasn't one. There wasn't a single jet or airplane that went over for a day and a half. Now, if 1,000 jets a week are normal, then what happens one day if none go? Is that normal too? Anyway, I thought, hey, I beat this thing. It's dead now. It just put up a major fight right to the very end, and then it just collapsed, right? Because the weird sensitive nature was going away, and the swollenness was going down, and the nerves were starting to feel normal again. And so I had a good day. I got a lot done. My projects moved forward. A lot of cleaning, and unfortunately, they started up again. The evening of the next day. And they've been going ruthlessly ever since. They were since 6 o'clock yesterday evening until about 2 in the morning. There was jets from that direction, jets from that direction, and jets from the north going south that I heard a few times, and a good healthy dollop of small planes, probably 20 flyovers with the Red Baron plane. And it's like 200-300 feet. They're swooping your house. And that one really makes the bugs in my eyebrows rebel. They get mad. They bite down on my nerve endings, and it hurts. Why does the airplane do that? Why are there 1,000 jets a week and 795 small planes a week flying over my house at low elevation when there's no airport around here? And there's no need for that many planes, period. The only reason that you could even possibly have that many planes, and a reason for it, is if they are surveilling to the umpteenth power because we're Americans and we could go rogue at any time, so we got to be surveilled 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in every manner. It's called freedom. They have to ensure that you're free by surveilling and controlling everybody 24 hours a day. That way nobody infringes upon someone else's freedoms. With Monsanto GMOing food and making poisons, why wouldn't they GMO some viruses and some bacteria as well and then spray them onto the population? Hey, what if those viruses were on the nanometer range and they realized that you could stimulate these viruses? Maybe these viruses eat aluminum oxide and barium. I hadn't thought of that. And then you send a jillion planes over real low, because beam weapons work better at close range. You send them over real low, one after another, knowing that the brain-dead, coward, fucking shitbag population in the United States is more concerned about their heroin and their prostitutes than they are about the state of their health or their future or their children or their lives or the conditions under which they live. Fuck that. As long as I get drugs and hookers, that's all I care about. Fuck the kids. They'll grow up without me. Sure, I'm going to enjoy it while I'm here. That's the American. That's the average American. That's the military fucks. Fuck you, by the way. If you're in the military, eat a dick, you piece of shit. I digress. You could be in the military and be a good person. You'll figure out that you're in a satanic shitbag organization, and they'll compromise you so that you give in and go along with them even if you don't like it. Get out is what I'm saying. If you can. If you care about, goodness, decency, life, babies, kittens, puppies. If you don't give a shit about any of that, then hey, fucking keep shipping heroin and spraying fucking people with poison and microwaving them. What's the difference, right? Microwaves are micro because they're high frequency. They call them microwaves because the wavelength of a microwave is very small. It's in the nanometer range, if I'm not mistaken, depending on the frequency, of course. And, chemtrail particles are already known to be nanometer particles. Viruses are nanometer things, and microwaves can induce their full waveform, that is from beginning of crest to crest, trough to trough, however you measure it, in one wavelength. If you have an antenna that's the exact same physical size as the wavelength of the frequency you're trying to tune for, it will pick it up very well. All the energy will transfer. That's how radios work, and TVs and microwave communications. That's how it works. That's why antennas are such a complex thing. It can become very, very complicated. But their operation is very simple. The wave is an inch long. The antenna needs to be an inch long that's going to receive that wave. That way it can pick up one complete waveform per cycle without any overlap, without any distortion. Okay, nanometer size. If you microwave, let's say, to get a nanometer wavelength, you're talking 90, 100 gigahertz. What is that, a Google Hertz? I don't know what that is beyond that. It's way up there, because 23 gigahertz creates a 1.5 centimeter wavelength, I believe they said on the waveguide show I was watching. So we want to get that down to nanometers. Maybe we're talking 1,000 gigahertz. I'm not quite sure what the technical limitations of the hardware are, and what they can fully do or not do. Our government's been conservatively 50 years ahead of us. That began about 100 years ago, so they're 1,000 years ahead of us now. We don't know. But that doesn't mean we're idiots. We can figure it out. We can look at the evidence, observe what's happening, coordinate that with what we see, feel, hear, and other people say, and then form some conclusions that are scientific and, very well could be accurate. And that's what I've been doing because I'm a scientist. I'm a mechanic. I'm kind of an artist now in a way. I've perfected the art of screaming "fuck you" at my neighbors. They almost came over and beat me up the other day. But I was standing in the yard in my underwear screaming at planes at 7 in the morning, so they looked at me for a minute and then, "You yelling at me?" I'm not yelling at you. Get the fuck out of here. And they left. Oh man. I'm a scientist. And I've been studying how things work, and it's all well documented. And once you get a large enough breadth of a knowledge base about waves and waveforms and how they work, waves are always repeating, and all waves act or don't react basically in the same manner, whether they're water waves, electric waves, magnet waves, or this, What do we got? Okay, we have 12 more minutes. I think only a couple jets have went over. I missed the big run, but I'll put you right here. And we'll see if we can catch any anomalous airplane activity, right? Stay put. Come on now. Alright. We can hear them. Yeah, this thing won't sit for nothing. And what's with the ash flies? I don't remember having to guard my breathing every time I went outside for, when I was younger. As to not breathe in a shitload of flies. What a... yeah, this is what do we got there? Actually, that looks like an F-18 over there, but there's one of the microwave planes coming. My face hurts. Probably out of time, huh? Almost, yeah. 28 seconds. Hear that jet? Just heard it a little bit. It's on its way. I hear them 2 minutes with the ringing in my ears before you can audibly hear them. And it's hurting again. You know, it would be one thing to have a virus infection in your ear that went on your face and was painful and you were fighting it. It'd be another thing to have it only be incredibly painful when a plane's flying over, and then be wondering, why is there a